welcome back. Been a long day. This adventure started about 10:30, 11ish today. There was a build-a-thon at my buddy Don's house today, and he knows I wanted to get my wing done. So I brought my box of parts over there. We started assembling, and it's 80% done. We started off with the other day. Oh, my battery's dying on my phone. He wanted to 3D print me a custom mount. He wanted to make a mount because he knew I wanted to use my GoPro bones, and I wanted to add an action camera to it. And there was one other thing out there that he was convinced would break if you crashed. So he made a TPU. I don't know how it looks on camera, but it's greenish, yellowish. So I had to spend half my morning custom making something that originally started like this, allowing it to fit and trimming, and then getting this line. So I wanted this. This was hand. I did this today. It's little things in life that make me happy. To get that thing to be magnificent. Servos are in, but they're not wired. This thing's been skinned. I learned how to do that today. Electronics, figuring out. So it ended up being, I thought CG. I was overwhelmed and thought CG was way too far heavy. And then after we put on the custom winglets he did and stuff, it started to change. And we ended up opting for a bigger motor, the one that was on the other wing versus the one that came with it. And next thing you know, the CG started to change. I don't know if this is going to come off. Those magnets are fucking for real. Nothing is in place. This is just crammed in here trying weight. So we ended up changing the idea of putting the battery in the back, because I was wrong about CG, to having to stuff it all the way in the front, even with that, because everything is pushed back. Air unit is getting a custom fan set up after the new plate. So Don is making me a plate that's going to go in here that's going to hold all the electronics. This was just messing around with CG. And then that will have the new mount for that. The 03 air unit is there, custom wound and made through to fit through here, and that's going to go back here. And that was one of the toughest parts, was trying to figure out where to put this so I could get to the SD card, so I could get my footage. He put a new top on it that has the fan, and then there's going to be a physical fan on top of that. That's going to be blowing. And then we're going to add a new duct, double duct. Which way does this go? Double duct. So it's going to be pulling more air in, allowing it to cool. That's about it. Other than it being huge and not fitting in my office, it's got the skid plate on the bottom. And like I said, so you can get an idea, I had to trim back some of the spots here to get the GoPro to get the bottom, this thing in here to fit. So magnet had to move, and then I had to do some trimming. But the final project, being that it fits freaking tit along that line, is magical. I can still get to the buttons in there. It'll have plenty of air, and I'm probably going to knock out these to allow more air directly in, nothing blocking it. It's kind of got like a smiley face thing going. It kind of looks like a bat, this whole thing. So we're going to play around with that concept and a name for it. I got to sand down the winglets. Kind of like that word, that's funny. Sand those down, get those smooth, and then debating on what color. If I want to just shoot them black. LEDs is going to be a big thing, as this thing's monstrous, so I want to run a big, I think, green strip around this thing. I'm super excited, but it's been a long freaking day. I got trapped in the morning, so I'm pooped. So there is your sneak peek of what's going on. Like I said, nothing. The ESC is just slightly connected for just testing, stuff like that. After trap tomorrow, we're going to meet up with the guys and go flying. I'm going to fly my huge T-28 Trojan, and what everyone thought was an absolute kick, which I had a field day with, is Beavis. So I'm going to rock Beavis again tomorrow. So, something to look forward to. It's going to be a long day. It's been a long day. Thanks for tuning in. What do you think? If you've owned one of these or have any recommendations for tuning, for balance, smashing the components in there, it's going to be fun. I'm not going to call it a drawback. I wanted to make it a simple setup. So using the 03 air unit for video and for transmission. So I'm using this. It's got shorter throws, so I got to change in iNav some of the settings in the Expo and stuff, because you have such a short throw. So you're not yanking and beating the sticks, and this thing just comes crashing to the ground. So that's where I'm at. If you have a cool name idea for it, hit me up. Peace out.